Lovers, it's C. I just wanted to come on today. Y'all excuse me because I'm driving. I just wanted to come on today and talk about something that I have been learning about / reading about, lately, social media and the news and things like that. And I just kind of want to give my piece on it, or my opinion or my take on it. And it's regarding the subject of human trafficking. And with that, I mean, I know everyone sees a lot in, social media. A lot of people have been speaking on their, experiences, their occurrences, not technically with actually being human trafficked or but just coming in contact with, suspicious people who, where they have gotten away or, felt they were in a situation where that could have possibly been a human trafficker or something like that. And I think that for them to be able to speak on the experience and, warn people, we've seen them in this area at this store, or be careful in this area at this store. And I think a lot of people, they see it and they're like, oh, well, I didn't know it could happen. They're close to home, and it makes a lot of sense because whenever, something comes out about it, I always get a call from my mom, and she's like, well, I told you about hanging out late at night and, going to these stores by yourself, because I like to go to Walmart or, things like at night. Not saying particularly at night, but if I get off of work, or if I, if it's getting dark but I still have to go to Walmart, I'm not going to not go to Walmart just because I think, oh, it's going to be a human trafficker. And I think the big misconception about that is that people or human traffickers come from out of the night, and they put a bag over your head and they stuff you in a van, and now you're being trafficked, or this and that, which not saying that cannot be the case and that doesn't happen for some people. That's the big misconception on the reality of human trafficking, but it's not. Like, girls, so specifically, look, don't get me to saying this word wrong, because y'all know how I am about talking about people and their words. Specifically, young girls are targets for human trafficking for their desires, for their dreams. That's why a lot of people with fame and power and money can coerce these young girls into being part of sex cults or prostitution. The pimp prostitute role comes from the exertion of power. Like, people love to have power. Like, the whole point of human trafficking is not for sex. It's not for the fantasy. It's not for things that you see on SVU or things like that. It comes from having that power and control over another human being. And I say that to say, teach young girls and teach the girls how to have self-love, how to love their self, how to portray that confidence, like, because they prey on things like low self-esteem. They prey on girls who they know parents don't have the income or the financial stability to finance their wants and their dreams. So they come with that opportunity. Hey, I got money, I can buy this for you, I can do this. They sell these girls their wildest dreams, and if they don't have that backing of a family, of a support system to say, I know you're lying, like, they're gonna fall for it. And it's not always gonna be the hood and cloak that we think it's gonna be. It's these, it's grown men or older men. Not saying they have to be 30 or 40 or 50, and that's a misconception as well, that they have to be old and wrinkly. Like, no, these are men with potentially a lot of money. A lot of human traffickers have money. And it's not always about sex too. It's, they're labor trafficking as well. And it's just it's about self-love, teaching self-love, and teaching our young girls to portray the confidence to where if someone was to walk up to them and sell them a dream, or tell them, oh, you want to be a model, or I can get you into a model, and say, okay, no, I'm gonna speak with my mom, we're gonna go through the right channels and stuff like that, or my dad, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for someone to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, meet me at this place at this time at this night, and they're not going to tell their parents because, you know, their parents aren't backing them in their dreams of being a model, or their parents aren't backing them in, you know, things that they want to do, and they get that from other people. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that's my fear for young girls, is that they don't love themselves enough to know when to recognize a lie, or recognize this falsehood of a dream coming from these older men just because they got money, or, you know, or things like that. And that's you know, because, like, even if, not saying that I've been approached or, you know, anything like that, but my mom, even down to this day, like, she's gonna tell me, oh, how pretty, oh, you're so pretty, or my daughter's so pretty, or I got a pretty daughter. Like, I mean, she's been doing that since I was a kid. So if I was in a situation where someone would come up to me and be like, oh, you're so pretty, you know you're so pretty, I'd be like, yeah, I know, my mama told me. Like, even if I'm not, like, you could be lying to me, I could be dead ugly, but it's that support system. Like, my mom gave me that love, my family gave me that love, like to know that if I needed something, or if, you know, if I wanted help, or if I wanted to follow a dream, that they would be right there with me. And it's not, I just wanted to say that to say, like, it's not always, you know, it could be another kid as well. Like, it's not always grown men coercing these girls into getting in situations where they could potentially be trafficked, or they could potentially be, you know, sold for their body, or for the labor. Like, not saying that girls as well, like, and I'm gonna retract that and take it back and say young people in general, or, you know, young striving people in general, because it's not just girls, it's not just young girls, it's young men as well, especially if they're following, you know, chasing a dream, or, you know, they want, you know, specifically in, you know, the LGBT community, they want to be understood. And if, you know, an older person comes to them and they give them that impression that they understand them, and that they're going to help them in life, and they don't have to worry about being judged or anything like that, and it's a tactic to where they know they prey on people with low self-esteem and from low income areas, and it's not always the monster. Like, it's gonna be, you know, someone who you would never notice. Like, you know, it's not gonna be someone who you picture in a movie, or you picture in you know, one of those TV shows, the Law and Order TV shows, or things like that, where, oh, it's like, oh, well, he look crazy, why would you talk to him anyway? It's never gonna be that. So unless we can, you're not saying that this is the only cure, but, like, unless we can, you know, portray or instill in our young people today the love and the drive to, like, gain our own success without the help of a man or somebody coming to save the day, you know, it's when, like, they're gonna always have victims, they're gonna always have, you know, the opportunity to do what they do, to traffic how they traffic, because, you know, they have the prey. They have the prey where, you know, especially in days of social media, like, where they can talk to, and that's one thing I'm so fearful of, because I have a 12-year-old sister who I fear that, you know, somebody is gonna slide in her DMs and be like, oh, well, you know, you're so pretty, or this and that, and, you know, and nobody's telling her. Like, whenever I see her, like, I always tell her, like, you're so pretty, like, she's so pretty. And I don't want her to take that from somebody and like, oh, well, nobody ever told me that, oh, thank you. And, you know, well, and then that can lead to, oh, well, you know, when, you know, well, can I see you, or this and this, like, because now they want more of their attention. And that's one of the things that I fear the most. And, you know, it hit home to me, because even in areas where you don't think it could happen, it can happen. And, you know, Virginia, like, the majority of trafficking, you know, people think it's in Russia or China or things like. The majority of trafficking, I'm not going to quote the statistics because I don't have it on hand, I don't know it right now, but if you want to look it up, is happening in the United States by people in the United States. Like, it's not these, you know, the foreign, or they're not you know, people coming from different countries snagging young girls, taking them back across seas. No, they are trafficking them in the United States around us now, but we wouldn't know it because the areas, or, you know, majority of the time women are trafficked, they're held up in hotel rooms for days and months at a time. So we're thinking, oh, well, they're halfway across the road right now, but they're down the street. Like, it's real, and it's just to be more aware, started from home, started at home, so that our young girls and our young men don't go out looking for the love and the support of strangers to facilitate their dreams, or to, you know, to boost them, when we can do it at home. And, you know, we could potentially save the next life, we could potentially save the next person from getting caught up into a world where it's not impossible to get out of, but even if they were to get in it and get out, it's going to affect them, you know, mentally and emotionally for the rest of their life. So that's all I got to say. That's just something that was on my mind and something that was on my heart that I wanted to say. Please, you know, engage, give me your comments or your thoughts about the situation. And as always, I love y'all, love each other, love one another, and specifically according to this topic, love our young people. Like, just, that's all I got to say for today. Bye, I love you, lovers.